Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I'm back with another subscriber requested video for you. So this is, I had talked about, it's been some months ago, I had talked about how even in the summertime I enjoy cozy fragrances. Like I'm always looking for a cozy fragrance no matter how hot out it is. And somebody asked me to do a cozy hot weather fragrance video, and I think I have done this video before, but I'm gonna do an updated one. So anyways, I've got a ton here. I'm gonna jump right in. The first one that I'm gonna start with is this one here. This is from Hermes. This is Le Jardin des Monsorlis, and this is such a beautiful, it's like citrus, but it's warm and smooth smelling. It's a citrus with a lot more body to it. I think this has got a leather note in it, which it may or may not. I'm pretty sure I did read though that this has got a leather note in it last time I looked the notes up on this, and which I was super surprised because I really do not like leather in fragrance, but there is something about this perfume that I love. It's a citrus fragrance, but again, it's got so much more body to it than like a normal citrus fragrance would. And I'm thinking it's because of that leather note. It's just beautiful. It's smooth and warm and comforting. It lasts a really long time on the skin. It's one of those fragrances that every time you move and get a whiff of it, it's like super warm and cozy smelling. I just love this fragrance. So anyways, that is the first one. That is Le Jardin des Monsorlis from Hermes. This next one, I think this one is cozy for me because it's got like a vintage quality to it, and I've got a few fragrances like this in this collection here because I think I associate nostalgia with comfort and coziness as well. And this one for sure has that kind of cozy nostalgia thing going that makes me, that just makes me love it. So anyways, the perfume that I'm talking about is this one here. This is the Nuxe Prodigieux Le Parfum, and this is, it like takes me straight back to the 80s. It reminds me of kind of like a mixture of the old Avon Skin So Soft and suntan lotion. And the reason I say that is because back in the 80s, if some of you are watching that remember the 80s, like I was a kid, but I do remember them. Everybody in the summertime, especially where I grew up in Washington State, everybody in the summertime used Avon Skin So Soft as a bug repellent, which is funny because I still to this day have a bottle of Avon Skin So Soft that I use as bug repellents in the summertime. But anyways, this reminds me of that. It reminds me kind of like Skin So Soft mixed with like an 80s suntan lotion. And it just gives me these nostalgic vibes, and because of that, I love it. This has got like coconut and some white flowers, some beachy white florals in it, and it's also got some kind of like a hot stone or sand note in the base. It's just so good. The performance on this one is better if you layer it over some lotion or oil. On its own, it'll last for maybe 4 hours or so, but if you layer this over oil, which it's got an oil that I think is the same scent, if you layer it over the oil or a lotion, you can definitely get a good 6 to 8 hours out of it. So anyways, that is the Nuxe Prodigieux Le Parfum. Beautiful. Okay, next we have got one of my great loves. This is Lake & Skye 1111, and this is the most beautiful white amber and white musk perfume. It is so warm and so cozy and clean and slightly sweet and a little bit skin-like. But it is super warm and cozy and perfect for warm weather. Like the perfect warm, cozy warm weather fragrance. I love this perfume. I've talked about it endlessly on my channel, so I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on it. But yeah, cozy white musk and white amber mixture, and it is phenomenal. Somebody recently asked me about should they buy the oil or should they buy the spray perfume. I would recommend the oil. I have tested them both. The oil performs better than the spray perfume. The oil lasts forever on me. It's like a one and done. I can put it on one time and I'm done. I don't ever have to reapply it. The perfume, I don't feel like that would be the case. But anyways, yeah, that's Lake and Skye 1111. Okay, this next one, there's so many perfumes on the market with this combination of notes, but this is one of my favorite ones just because it smells so much more elevated. So anyways, that is Juliette Has a Gun Pear Ink, and this is basically a pear and ambrette perfume, and it's beautiful. It's clean and slightly sweet and fresh. And ambrette has such a like cloudy coziness to it. It's fuzzy smelling. It smells like a warm cashmere blanket. But this one is super fresh because it's like a fresh pear fragrance. This is the best one. There are so many pear and ambrette fragrances on the market. Klein has one. I said Solar Bloom last time. It's not Solar Bloom. It's, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the Klein one, but Klein makes one. Ariana Grande, God Has a Woman, is a pear and ambrette fragrance, which that one I do not love. There's something really inexpensive smelling about that one to my nose. Ellis Brooklyn Sweet is a pear and ambrette fragrance. I mean, there are a ton of them. But in my opinion, this is the best one. This one is expensive smelling and fresh and clean and beautiful and cozy. And I love this one in the heat. It's such a cozy, warm weather fragrance. So anyways, that is Juliette Has a Gun Pear Ink. Next, we have got this guy here. This is a L'Homme Ideal Cologne from Guerlain. And this is such a cozy, citrusy almond fragrance. It's like fresh, slightly powdery almond and strong citrus. This fragrance has a lot of body to it. This is a men's fragrance, so yeah, it does lean a little bit masculine, but this fragrance has got a ton of body to it. This thing is a beast on me. I can spray it on one time and I'm good for the rest of the day. I used to wear this to work a lot when I worked 10-hour days because it was a fragrance that would actually get me through the entire workday. It's such a cozy, warm weather fragrance though. Something about how the almond really kind of tempers the citrus. It keeps it, the almond is so prominent that it keeps the citrus from being too citrusy or from like just disappearing after, you know, an hour, which a lot of citrus perfumes do, unfortunately. But yeah, I just love this. It's such a cozy, warm weather fragrance. And this is one of my go-tos when I'm just wanting to, you know, when I'm just looking for a really cozy fragrance or I want something cozy, but it's really, really hot out. This is definitely one of my go-tos. So anyways, that is L'Homme Ideal Cologne from Guerlain. It's sadly, this one is really difficult to find at this point. But yeah, if you ever run across it, I would definitely, if you're into those kinds of fragrances, I would definitely snap it up. Okay, this next one, this is such a cozy, like clean fragrance. This is Dolce & Gabbana Red Cap, but this is the made in Germany one. So I do have the Euro Italia one, which is the made in Italy one, and then I have this one, which is the made in Germany one. So the Euro Italia Italy one I like to wear in cooler months because that one tends to go quite incensey on me. Once that one dries down, it really does smell quite incensey. This one is more of like light, airy, clean cotton. For sure. It's like light, airy, sweet. Light, airy, sweet, clean cotton. They're both really, really aldehydic, but there's something about, and I'm not the biggest fan of aldehydic perfumes, but there's something about these red caps from Dolce & Gabbana that I love. This one is straight up like clean white fluffy laundry on me. It really does smell like you just washed a load of like fluffy towels and you just pulled them out, and they're warm and they smell amazing, like fresh clean linen. It smells like the most beautiful like fresh linen candle almost. I love it. And that's how it translates on my skin as well. Just really bright, fresh, airy, clean linen, and I love it. It's so cozy too. It's just such a cozy, like warm towel kind of feeling. I just adore it. So anyways, that is Dolce Gabbana Red Cap. That is the made in Germany formulation though. Okay, this next one will be no surprise to any of you. This is such a cozy warm weather fragrance. This is a fragrance that you can wear in the heat and it's gonna like take you straight into December. Like it'll remind you of Christmas. And that is Salvador Dali Sunrise in Cadaques. So this is a really, really good clone of Eau de Merveille from Hermes. There are some slight differences in them. I have tested them side by side. I do have a bunch of carded samples of Eau de Merveille. This one is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit fresher. But man, when they dry down, they're so similar. This one just is a little bit lighter. But this is like a really light, kind of spiced ambery orange fragrance. It's really, really beautiful. It's cozy and it reminds me of Christmas time in the middle of, like on July 4th, because it's such a great, really hot weather fragrance. This holds up really, really well in the heat because it's so light and airy, but it's still like a warm citrusy amber, like a warm citrusy, really light amber. I love it. It's just beautiful. It's a really, really nice, cozy, warm weather fragrance. So anyways, that is Salvador Dali Sunrise in Cadaques. Okay, next, this one I've got pulled out and I'm gonna leave this one out because I wanna wear this a lot this summer. I feel like I need to get through this bottle, but it is one of the most cozy warm weather fragrances I've got in my collection. That is Versace Crystal Noir. So this is such a beautiful, warm, sultry coconut and gardenia fragrance. And that's exactly what it smells like, coconut and gardenia. It's very, very warm, super rich smelling, but holds up in the heat beautifully. I just love this. I love this fragrance so much. It's super, super cozy. It's like a cozy, warm, dark fragrance that holds up really well in high heat. So yeah, I will be wearing this one a ton this summer. I absolutely love it. That is Versace Crystal Noir. It's an absolute beast too. It lasts forever on my skin. Okay, next we have got this one here. This is Christian Dior Pure Poison. I actually prefer wearing this in the cold weather because it performs way better on me in the cold weather. But I love this one in the heat. This is one of my like go-to cozy warm weather fragrances. It doesn't perform great in warm weather, but it's so sweet and cozy and warm. It's like a sweet, cozy, warm white floral. Very clean smelling. Again, kind of a clean white laundry scent, but with some sweet white florals in it. Super warm, really beautiful, and I love wearing this one in the heat when I'm looking for something really cozy. So anyways, that is Pure Poison from Dior. Next we have this one here. This is such an amazing fragrance. I forget about it. I do not give this enough love. This is what I did on my holidays from 4160 Tuesdays. Oh my gosh, I love this fragrance so much. This is like a predominantly mint fragrance, but it's like sweet vanilla. It's like a sweet minty vanilla perfume. It's got a ton of notes in it. It's got like ozonic notes. It's got cotton candy in it, or candy floss, I think is what they call it. It's got mint, it's got vanilla, it's got like I want to say it's got some kind of like a waffle cone note. It's so good. It's so beautiful. This performs like crazy too. This is one that you only need to apply this one time and you're gonna be good for the entire day. It smells like a fun fair or something, but in the summertime. It reminds me of like the Santa Monica Boardwalk or something, like a Ferris wheel and cotton candy and ice cream, but it's super hot out and you can smell the ocean, and oh, it's so, so good. It's really, really unique and just so beautiful. And this is one of those that it's almost a little bit nostalgic smelling for me. And so because of that, it makes it like really cozy. I don't know. I just love it. It's such a beautiful fragrance. So anyways, that is what I did on my holidays from 4160 Tuesdays. Next, we have got this one here. This is Lavender Illusion from the Viktor and Rolf Magic Collection. And oh my gosh, this is a really beautiful kind of medicinal smelling lavender, like really strong medicinal lavender, but it's got a ton of lime in it. So it's really, really bright and citric, but at the same time, it's like this really beautiful green medicinal lavender scent. It's super cozy. Lavender is always cozy for me. That's why I wear lavender to bed a lot, because it's just such a cozy, comforting fragrance. So that's basically what this is. This is a lavender that does really, really well in high heat because it's got so much citrus in it, but it's still very, very cozy and comforting because it's lavender. So anyways, that is Lavender Illusion from Viktor and Rolf. Unfortunately, this one does not perform well at all. I can get, I don't know, an hour and a half maybe out of this before I need to reapply it. So I end up, anytime I wear this, I end up reapplying it like all day long because it's just, it doesn't perform well, but I love the way it smells so much that I'm willing to do that. So anyways, that is Lavender Illusion from the Viktor and Rolf Magic Collection. This next one, this is one that has been living out because I've been wearing this a lot because it is so cozy. This is Dolce Garden from Dolce & Gabbana. And oh my gosh, I love this one so much because this fragrance is intensely sweet. It's got a ton of coconut in it. It's got almond milk in it. And that's really what I get from it. It's really, really sweet, like coconut and almond milk. It's got some flowers in it, which I really don't get the flowers. I mostly get coconut and almond milk from this. But it's like really, really sweet and cozy and comforting. It's creamy, it's warm, and it's a beast on me. This thing lasts forever. That's why I wear it a ton, but you wouldn't know it because I don't have to reapply it very often. I do overspray the only time that I do apply it, but I never have to reapply it if I overspray it. So anyways, that is Dolce Garden from Dolce & Gabbana, such a beauty. This next one, this is one of my most cozy warm weather fragrances that I have in my collection. And this, I feel like this could be worn any time of year, but I don't know, I just savor it for warm weather. This is Valentino Donna Acqua, and I love this perfume. This is another almond perfume. Oh my gosh, it's like sweet, light, candied almond. It's got some flowers in it. This one is really light. It's a lot lighter than Dolce Garden. It's lighter and sweeter, and it's got this candied aspect to it. But this really beautiful, almost kind of perfumey almond. I love this. This is one of my favorite warm weather fragrances. This is one of my go-to cozy warm weather fragrances. My husband loves this. Anytime I wear this perfume, my husband asks me why this can't be the perfume that I wear all of the time. And I'm like, well, because sadly it's been discontinued. This is the only bottle I've got and probably the only one I'm gonna have, so I have to ration it. But yeah, this is a fragrance that my husband would love to be my signature scent because it's just beautiful. It's everything I love in a scent. It's warm, it's cozy, it's sweet, it's a little bit perfumey, so it's not too It doesn't lean too gourmand. And it's just amazing. So anyways, that is Valentino Donna Acqua. I adore it. Okay, this next one, I do not talk about this fragrance a lot on my channel because this is a very vintage leaning, a very vintage smelling fragrance, and I don't think that it would be for everybody. But this is Dolce Vita from Christian Dior. This is a vintage bottle. This is back when they actually printed Christian Dior on the bottle and not just Dior. This is a beautiful vintagey, like a vintage warm weather coconut fragrance. I love it. It takes me back to the 80s. It's another one that's just super nostalgic. This one is really warm. It's heavier because it is more of a vintage kind of 80s style fragrance. And it's got coconut in it and you can smell the coconut, but this is such a perfumey fragrance that the coconut doesn't smell literal. It doesn't smell like a suntan lotion. It doesn't smell like something to eat. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of a perfumey coconut. Yeah, I love this fragrance. Again, this one is super cozy and comforting to me because it's a little bit nostalgic smelling. Anything vintage smelling for me is like comforting because, I guess because it's nostalgic. So anyways, that is Christian Dior Dolce Vita. It's a beautiful perfume. This next one is another one. This is very, very nostalgic for me, and because of that, it is very comforting, but it is also a beautiful warm weather fragrance, and that is Calvin Klein Escape. So this is such a strange, like, mix of aquatic notes and florals. It's got like a million notes in it. Anytime I talk about this perfume and I go to put it on the screen, there is not enough room for me to fit all the notes on the screen. So what I will end up doing is just putting the notes that I think are the most relevant, that I feel like I can smell the most in the perfume on the screen so you guys can get some idea. But yeah, a weird mix of like aquatics and flowers and just a kitchen sink full of notes. But this takes me straight back to elementary school. 5th and 6th grade is when this perfume came out. Everybody was wearing it. Like everybody's parents, if you were a little girl, everybody's parents was buying this for you. And everybody smelled like this. It was so modern and cool smelling back then. And yeah, I just loved it. And there's something, I love this in the heat though. It's such a beautiful warm weather fragrance. It's got a lot of body to it. It definitely works in the heat, but it is not a light, like wallflower of a fragrance at all. This is a very like pungent, in your face. You're gonna smell like this. People are gonna smell you coming because it's very strong. Oh, but I love it. And it's so nostalgic for me that it is very comforting and cozy, and I just adore it. I love it in the high heat. So anyways, that is Calvin Klein Escape. Next, we have got this one here. This is Estee Lauder Sensuous, and I am so sad because I want to use up the rest of this bottle because I have so little left, but I think this has been discontinued. And so now I'm really afraid to use up the rest of my bottle because I think it's been discontinued. I don't know for sure. Maybe if you guys know, let me know in the comments down below if this has been discontinued. I feel like it has though. I'm having a hard time finding it. But I love this. This is a beautiful, like warm, slightly sweet, kind of skin-like fragrance. Oh, I love it. I do think this one's got coconut in it too, if I remember correctly. Oh my gosh, but I just love it. It's warm and skin-like, and it's not overly perfumey. This is one that you wouldn't even be able to tell that you're wearing perfume. I used to wear this one to bed a lot because it's such a warm, cozy fragrance. It's one of those perfumes that reminds me of a warm sweater. It's just so cozy and beautiful, but it works really, really well in the high heat. It does for me anyways. And yeah, this is one I'll wear any time of year, but I really like it in the warm weather because it really projects a lot. in the warm weather. So anyways, that is Estee Lauder Sensuous, such a beauty. This next one, I did not think that I was gonna like this in the heat, but I just wore this one recently and I love it in the heat. This is the Les Notes Gourmands Heliotrope fragrance from Reminiscence. And this is such a beautiful powdery, like almond, like powdery sweet almond heliotrope kind of fragrance. It smells very much like, in fact, next time I wear this, I'm gonna layer the Sweet Essentials Heliotrope oil that I have under this to see like what it does. But I love this. It's super cozy, it's light, it's sweet, and it's light enough that it holds up in the heat. It's not like it doesn't like choke you out. It's not too much for hot weather. And I love it. It's super cozy and comforting, and this fragrance reminds me of like Marie Antoinette. I don't know why. It reminds me of like tea cakes and petit fours and satin and ruffles and powder. I just love it. It's beautiful. So anyways, that is the Les Notes Gourmands Heliotrope fragrance from Reminiscence. And last but not least is this beauty here. This is Guerlain Neroli Outrenoir. This is like the epitome of cozy warm weather fragrances. This is very citrusy, very tea-like, but very, very cozy and warm. This is beautiful. I've tested this both in the cold weather as well as the heat. It's beautiful in the heat. It radiates off your skin. It's citrusy, but again, the other notes in it keep that citrus from being too citrusy and disappearing in minutes. The citruses are really, really warm and almost fuzzy in this fragrance. It's beautiful. I guess because it's tea-like, I don't know. It's a gorgeous fragrance. It really is like the epitome of cozy warm weather fragrances, and I love this. I'm so happy to have it in my collection. So anyways, that is Guerlain Neroli Outrenoir. And that is gonna be it, guys. Boy, that was a ton of fragrances. I was afraid this was gonna be like an hour long, but yeah, that's just some of the fragrances that I've got in my collection that I think are great cozy warm weather fragrances. I like live for cozy fragrances, so I feel like all of my fragrances at their heart are cozy in some way. It's just depending on, do I wear them in the warm weather or do I wear them in the cold weather? But anyways, you guys, I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.